What's going on, y'all? Grand Rising. Hope all is well. Let me try to angle my camera so I can see much better. You know what? It's just a little dark inside here. Let me get a lot more lighting. Oh, that's why. It's sort of gloomy outside. All right. It's good. Okay, this is way better. I like this better. I like this better. Grand Rising, everybody. I'd like to say a pleasant rising to each and every one of y'all. This week has been pretty good. I must say, the sessions were quite amazing, pretty awesome. I enjoyed every single one of them. Alana never lets me down. Never. Never lets me down. So, not. Yes, I've been waiting. Hey, Astro, my question. How would you interpret what people would refer to as a miracle? You know what, not? That's a really good question. I interpret it as that. You know, you could use it. You could go from it from a left brain perspective or a right brain perspective. Right brain it's a miracle. It's something that happens so miraculously. You know, I mean, sorry, that's the right brain. So the left brain does that. It just doesn't have any. They call them miracles because they don't have no logical explanation for it. Oh, it's a miracle. That's the left brain and understanding of something that happened that doesn't have logic or an explanation at this very point in time, or one that they don't feel satisfied with. But my understanding of what miracles are is we're in a field, an energetic field of things that happen sporadically, mysteriously, if you want to use that term. And for some apparent reason, the mind cannot, you know, accept the fact that something can happen beyond the logic of the human mind. I don't look at miracles as miracles anymore like how I used to. I look at every single moment as a possibility. And in a universe where there is endless possibilities, the possibilities are endless. I don't see miracles as miracles anymore. I see it as it's just who we are as gods. Next question. Hey, Astro, I'd like to know, how do you miss your marker for marriage? Good question. The way you could miss your marker for marriage is if your superficial ideas of how you should have your partner, having a fixed notion of how physically that soul should be when it's, or or when you are distracted with life, when you are filled with emotions of the hurt of the past, when you are still fixated on things that you should have moved on from, and that person is right in front of you. Or it could be where something happened. It doesn't necessarily just have to be you. It could be a connection between the both of you, where that person also makes a mistake and is fixated on past. So those are ways that you can miss out from a mark of marriage. So next question. Were you able to remove the legion from Cheryl Lavard? And can you explain a little more on soul fragments? Cheryl Lavard, I care not to speak on that right now. She, with the help of myself, and I like to say, and I like to take any credit, if anything, of that nature. I don't know, maybe it's the sun and Aquarius in me. But I definitely left her with the tools to remove that. When she left from that evening, she was already very light, as if the fragment of that soul was already been served. When it comes to soul fragments, you have to be specific. Soul fragments are a vast topic now. Now, soul fragments are like, it happens sometimes sporadically when a soul is very depressed and there's a sense of leaving the physical earthly plane beyond time, before it's time. So the conscious is like the conscious is a very, consciousness is a very vast thing. When there is a sense of leaving or leaving the physical body, the higher self does something of leaving a fragment of that consciousness to connect into a physical body. Sometimes it's centered around what it wants. So it has a sort of a it's like a SOS signal. But the SOS signal is so powerful that it becomes an experience on its own. So you're still tied to your that consciousness. What I want to say is this. So I guess you experience you're trying to understand last night's session, how it was just a new fragment, but there's no such thing as a new fragment. You still experience the lifetimes connected to that collective consciousness. When you merge back in the spirit world, you merge back with that center or that home, that central consciousness. So you still are connected to that central consciousness. It's the same way how Vanessa, her consciousness was still connected to Marilyn Monroe. Well, Marilyn Monroe was connected. Her center a signal of consciousness. It could have been one fragment or two or three, and they are all connected to a center consciousness. And when they all merge as one with more information, more knowledge. This is where we experience people like proteges when they come back in this world and they experience another lifetime, but so much gifts. Trying to figure out how did you develop these gifts or these likings or these or inhibitions. Well, soul fragments contribute to almost all of those. I just want to say that I feel more in line after our session. Hey, what's going on? So many triple numbers, more focus, less overanalyzing. I feel overall better. No problem. That's what it's all about. Okay, they changed my PLR to a quantum healing. No penny pinch. I want to pay that difference. I realize I need the whole shebang. Okay, no problem. Just get with my team. Let them know. Yes, please explain the Shell Levard session. Okay, Shell Levard had let's see, Legion. Now, Legion are a group of souls that live in a lower dimension. Apparently, when I connected with the Galactic Federation, apparently that legion of energies, entities, actually they are from a different galaxy, a different galaxy and different dimension. The universe is more vast than we think, and for me to explain that, we will be here all day because I've explained dimensions, I've explained the galaxies, explained alien life forms, and yeah, that that session needs a whole question and answer on its own. The Shell of Our session, she literally had, when it comes to entities taking over a physical body, owning body that it's, or owning a soul, they are they're in breach of galactic federation laws, universal laws of free will. And there are beings who protect and guide that, who have you have no idea of. And some of them souls, some of those souls are right here. Some of y'all are on this live. Some of y'all are here who sort of know this and are part of that. The reason why some of y'all are doing sessions with me is because you are part of the Galactic Federation yourself. The Galactic Federation is not limited to just one simple number of small numbers. This is a whole collective of soul energy. All right, it's a collective soul energy, and those entities, those lower dimensional souls, were in breach of occupying and sharing and controlling a soul, so to speak. That's in breach of any universal law of free will. I just want to say, okay. Um, all right. Would you suggest that we submit a list of things that we want healed or family relations that are estranged prior to our session? Um, the list I got from people were connected to the people what they wanted to know. Listen, a list would take, oh, you only have an hour and 45 minutes with me. A list of things that need to be healed are, yeah, those things could be different lifetimes. You know, those things could take a lot more extraction. Just that's just how it is. So a list, maybe a list of the people that you're connected to or things that you want to be healed, like in particular in one particular lifetime. Because sometimes a lot of you guys are old souls who've acquired a lot of different damages to the soul fragments and to these to your soul star, and even the repair that you experience in spirit world, like, it's not enough. So I would suggest multiple sessions as opposed to trying to cramming, because I won't cram. I might as well tell you now, hour and 45 minutes, boom, next person. Can quantum healing improve symptoms of dementia? I will give this disclaimer because YouTube wants to make sure that I give this disclaimer. Any diagnosis you've gotten from a doctor, you should you should follow the orders of your doctor. And I'm by no means a physician. By no means a physician. And with that being said, you should follow the prescription or the protocol of your doctor. Now that I've said that out of the way, of course it does. But only if you can remember, because most of the times that's when. So when you don't use a certain part of your brain, you lose it. It's not a scientific understanding of it. I could give you the definition of how it works scientifically, but that's just basically what it is. What are some of the gifts that we don't realize are gifts? Because one person, intuition was a gift, but assume we all had it. Well, intuition is a natural instinct. However, a natural gift. Just like how clothing is. Just like how your underwear is, you feel it, you wear your underwear because that's what you know you have. However, you also have clothing that can go on top of that clothing. That sort of either hides the underwear or reveals it. And it's the same way how your intuition and other gifts that are intuitively connected are used. So, and other gifts that you don't think are intuitive are like love, joy, happiness, contentment, simple things like that, like talents and skills, like being able to speak, sing. All these are talents that people don't think are talent. I mean, gifts that people don't think are gifts. Is the waiting list long for Richmond? I don't know anything about that. When people ask me about waiting list, length, scheduling, any of that, coming to me is a waste of time. Message my page, Astro, Einstein, Quantum Healer. I do not deal with any of that. The only thing I deal with is touching foreheads and snapping my fingers. All right. I've been doing the Hemi-Sync or fall asleep. Is it okay to fall asleep during Hemi-Sync? Can you explain what we should look for or expect while listening to Hemi-Sync? For different people, it's different things. Try not listening to it during the night when you go to sleep. Try doing it in the day so you're focused on what side of the brain is going on so that you are aware of what's taking place. You can listen to it while you go to sleep too. However, doing it in conscious, waking conscious is important. Question: breaking soul ties via magic, a form of QH, quantum healing. Breaking soul ties, QA, form of quantum healing. What kind of magic? How are you doing it? Magic is a very, very broad word to use because there's many different ways of using magic. So you got to say specifically what you're talking about. I will say I'm a physician. Thank you. Hey Taisha. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, it is a gift, believe it or not. To be able to love unconditionally, that's one of the hardest things people get. A lot of reason why a lot of us incarnate here, a lot of you incarnate here is because you don't know how to love unconditionally. Some of y'all dress it up, but I love unconditionally. And when that person does not fall under your category that you think they should, you wash them away like as if they didn't even exist. Would getting a natal reading on my children help me parent them better? Most definitely. You get to understand them to the depth of who they are. I had a call. Yes, Taisha, I love you back. Cord cutting. Cord cutting it could be done as a, yeah, okay. Yes. Do we go over our natal chart together before a session or you look into it prior to tell us what we could be expecting? I don't do a whole natal reading. I just look to see the karmic ties, your susceptibility, your if you're left brain or right brain, if you're an overthinker. I give you a little just, but I give you a natal report. I will send you with that. Go home and study yourself. But I basically go over it a little bit, just a little bit, so you get an understanding of how the depth of astrology is. Can someone that is in a different state now, because of possible drug use, get progressed and heal from that? I would say that if they are underneath, if they are addicted to drugs, then that should be taken care of first. That is a chemical imbalance in the brain. It means it's physically, anatomically affecting them. And that should be balanced first before doing anything. Oh yes, we can wash people away and still love them. Yes, of course we can. Right. So once they screw you over, you love them from a distance. All right. Hey Astro, I know you're not a physician, but I have lupus. Could that be from karmic ties. Yeah, it can also be from something that you wanted to experience based upon past life, seeing it, or also something that your soul did not resolve that you need to. And sometimes we set our exit points before we leave this earthly plane, before we reach it. Our exit points are where we leave the physical plane, meaning die, transition, whatever you want to use the term. And whatever choice we use is the choice we use. However, it can be healed because you also have free will to change anything about you as a soul, even whilst incarnating on this physical earth. So yeah, it can be healed. How many times have you been reincarnated? Fun ride? More than I could explain. The the center consciousness which resides in me um, has even soul fragments on this earthly plane right now as we speak. And those are also included on incarnations. A lot of y'all are split consciousness yourself. If I was to tell you how much, you probably would be like, that's ridiculous. All this, Lupus. Thank you. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. The only thing that makes you to feel a sense of completion is that you're serving others. You're making somebody else happy. The soul that resides as me, I've been, incarnating a whole lot in history, doing this for a very long time. See, this time is very important. Astrologically, it's the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius there are only about 2 signs in the whole entire zodiac that has a human depicted in it. And that is the Aquarius, the water bearer, which is a man holding a pitcher of water pouring out, and Virgo, which is a maiden holding wheat as if to feed or serve or to help. And we are in the time of Aquarius at this very moment in time. Whenever you see there is a human figure in an astrological sign, that's when we are here to help each other. That's when we are here to tap into our human side to keep balance. Aquarius isn't just about the waves or water bearer. Take in mind now, water is about balance. Wherever it is, it needs balance. And this is the moment in time that is important. There's very much symbols in that because in the sign of Aquarius, water brings life. It sustains it. It keeps you alive. And there's a water bearer holding that pitcher, which is knowledge and understanding and wisdom. And we are here to be our brother's keeper. I know a lot of you who say, I don't do Facebook, I don't do Instagram, I only do YouTube. And you got to understand this. Now you're working against the age that you're in. You are literally in the age of Aquarius where we are to connect with each other from a systematic and also from a network perspective. This could be social media because Aquarius is about connecting with everybody. This is no time to disconnect. This is a time to connect, to each other. And yeah, I like to say that because I want you to understand that we are in this time when we are to look out for each other. This time, my soul, the soul that resides in me, the collective center of this consciousness that resides in this physical body, have been waiting for this time for a very long time, preparing for this. Sorry, let me go. I just had to say that. Okay. So your higher self can change anything at any time, even if the Akashic records say something else. The Akashic records is very fluent. It flows with the energy of your consciousness. And your higher self is at the helm of that consciousness. The Akashic records is not fixed in nature. It is fixed based upon what the higher self has dictated and what the overall soul or oversoul has, and what they call the oversoul is the collective of your consciousness, because your consciousness is very vast of what is. So it's very malleable. That's why some people go into the Akashic records and the numbers change and it changes. It isn't fixed. Some things are fixed, but because of the higher self or the oversoul, and even those can be changed. No addicted anymore, but may have been laced or took something. We are still not sure, but I just wondered if he still speak. But we can tell the conscious soul. We know it's like a way. Yeah, so it has to have some cognitive ability to listen, to be here at this very moment in time, and you know, try our best, make sure have a center of people collected around him and sending healing towards him and calling upon, his higher self, not just one person, but groups, many. All right. So what happened if we are in a room with one of our soul fragments? Just a feeling of that person being a part of you, you know what I mean, and being a connection of who you are. So you sort of get a feeling, you get a sense that that person is you in a way, but not you. Son and boy have been in trouble lately. It is important time now if an individual is Aquarius, and if so, what is an Aquarian supposed to be doing? Well, the sun in Aquarius is just at least 1% of your chart. You are the the whole universe encapsulated in the physical body. That sun is just a fraction, but it's just the core of who you are in the physical body. However, as an Aquarius, the sun is not comfortable in the sign of Aquarius because it should be fixed on everybody, helping the world, society. The only way that you feel a sense of completion is if you are dedicating yourself to helping humanity, because that's what you're here for. The Aquarius that end up with sicknesses and illnesses, even more so, are the ones who are more centered around themselves. Is it? All right. Okay. Are you able to tell outside of a PLR or QH if someone has performed black magic or another type of spell or someone else? What can that person do to help themselves in that situation? Um, yeah, I can. Energies are you could feel frequent energies. You could feel that there's an entity or an attachment. I treat attachments and entities like as if common cold, because there are a lot of people walking around with attachments and energies, just like how you have cold. Like souls walking here and I'd be like, okay, this person has an attachment. It's like having a common cold. That's how common it is. That's how frequent it is. A lot of y'all be on this live have attachments now and don't even know. Those simple, small fragments of attachments, not necessarily a huge entity like how Shell, and beautiful soul Shell. She's very powerful, by the way. Don't underestimate it. That's the reason why people, once they sense a soul, not the physical body, the soul is compact with most of its collective centered consciousness. They grab onto that and they want to control that in a way. But you could sense and feel the energies of people who have attachments to them. Once you tune into that, once you do stuff like what I do for a living, you get to know what can they do for to have themselves in a situation. There's nothing much more freer than the ocean, the sea. Dipping yourself in the ocean 3 times, holding your breath for 5 to 10 seconds, coming up, doing it again 3 times, cleansing yourself as you go over the sea. You could do it on a full moon and a new moon when the tide is low. Get a branch of a tree that you will never see again, break it off, carry it to the to the shoreline, write your name, free yourself of so and so attachment, whatever it may be. When the tide comes up and it washes that away, but before then, break the stick, throw it in one side and the next. When the tide comes up, when that stick lands on the earth, attachment is washed away. Hi Astro, when someone sees a burning moon or sun in a dream, what does it mean? Thanks. That's very symbolic to different people. Burning could mean a transformation, transfiguration. It doesn't mean necessarily anything bad. All right. It can mean a change, a shift. A burning sun. The the sun is burning. I don't understand about the sun part, but the burning moon, it just represents a sort of a balance of energies. Now the moon is a watery planet. That means steam. That means something is going to happen that may shift the connection of whoever is connected to the moon that you are dreaming about. Dreams are very, very individual based upon each person. There is a general synopsis of what a dream could mean. However, for each person, it could be tweaked. Um, the goddess that was a fragment of memory, no, was affected by her not fully transitioning to spirit world because she felt withdrawn and empty. How powerful are soul fragments to each other? Good question. Very, very powerful because the soul fragment does not feel a sense of connection to that oversoul. And it feels a sense of there's something missing, something incomplete. There's something that needs to be complete. And I feel a sense of drought. If you realize the energy that was the soul, which is Vanessa, and even the one last night, which is uh, the last session I did, well, the one that the last live, you'd realize there's a melancholy about them. Like it feels as if it's like, yeah, and all that is just a connection, feeling as if they are not complete. So it is very, very important. All right, I have about 5, 10 more minutes because I'm about to do some amazing sessions today. One may go live, who knows? We'll see. I know I haven't gone to all of your sessions. I'm just checking to make sure that I. All right, let me just make sure that my people's is not in the lobby. I'm sure they're waiting. Either which way, I got them. As a kid, and even now, I used to say, I think I was a male and a warrior in a past life. Everyone used thought I was being cheeky. But now I've found you, Astro. It makes me think I could be correct. Yes, that could possibly be so. Hey, Natasha, welcome to the Cosmic Souls. Last one, LOL. So Jupiter will be in Pisces, May 13th, in my 5th house, with my North Node 15 degrees. My quantum healing is on the 14th, and Venus conjunct natal Jupiter transits as well. Will this be significant? You know that. You know that, Christina. That's important. That's significant. And sometimes these things happen organically, where your oversoul have made sure that it happened at this point in time. Internal says, how do I upgrade the membership? It's not giving me the option under the perks. right. I keep seeing feathers in all places. Can you elaborate on what this may mean, please? Kima Lee, this could be somebody who passed on who's leaving you a message. Somebody who's connected to your lineage that could be leaving you a message, letting you know that they're with you. Thank you, Reynolds. Appreciate you. Will you consider offering future progressions in the future? Yeah, because it's not really future. They're all being experienced at the same time. I say past life regressions because these are the ones that you consider past. And the future progressions are the lifetimes that you are going beyond this point in time. And in the age of Aquarius, we are moving into that smoother waters and healing those, and then going into future, or what you would consider future. All right. I guess you guys are finished with your questions. Let me just rant and rave a little bit. Like I said, thank you, Atlanta. I'd like to give a thanks to Atlanta. You guys showed up. It was amazing. I must say, I'm about to do, I call my local celebrities and celebrities today. It's going to be an awesome day. Beautiful. You say, no, but I was high, Astro. Can you tell me what it means when I'm asleep? I hear people talking around me, but no one is there. You could definitely be a medium. This means that you can be a medium. And you get an opportunity. If it's not myself or, also another astrologer, take a look at your natal chart. Also when you do a session, it'll basically reveal all that to you, but you could be a medium. And because of your senses, being so connected to physical seeing and your logical side, maybe your gift is waiting for you to shut down that logical side of your brain and give you information on these beings or these people. It could be that as well. It's so much different avenues. You could have a connection to intergalactic beings. You could be connected to angels. You could be connected to people's souls that have passed on. But to get the full gist of it is to pay attention and set your intentions before you go to bed at night and have your whatever it is to tell you what they are, who they are, and they will. Thank you. Will you ever do a live freeing a soul from a lower vibrational entity? I probably will. Sometimes it could go very, very, very left, and I like to protect y'all. It is pretty law also cure trauma for future lives. Yeah, this is why we're doing it now, so that your future, what you would call future lives, are being experienced, will be experienced much more smoother. It's the reason why we're here now to do that. So yeah. Okay, definitely. I'm in Aquarius. Astral fractions of souls can be alive in this present day and past. Yes. Yeah, of course. Consciousness is not limited to your physical body, and it's not limited to time. It's not limited to one physical body. We have this thing in our minds that your consciousness is so limited. This physical, you're so vast of a soul that this physical body can only really hold a fraction of your consciousness. This right here, within me, is only a fraction of my consciousness. Some of it is in spirit world, some of it is in another dimension, another part of it is in another fragment. Our consciousness is very vast. We are all one big bubble. We are all one. We are all one. It's only one of us. One of us. We are all connected to one. That's why when we see each other as enemies, as this, as that, we are all experiences of God individually. This means that we are all one. Just by looking at people as this and that and this and that, It's only a reflection of yourself deep on the inside that you hide. So when people be like, you know, I just can't stand this person, so and so. I'll be honest with you. Even the and I had this problem with people who were around me. They'd be like, "Why you forgive that person so much?" Listen, I was in a community of people who turned on me 3, 4, 5 times, even lied on me. And people who cared about me the most, they said, "Why you forgive them people? Why you even let them in your inner circle?" Some of those people I've even done work with. Some of those persons, that they wouldn't say that they were, but they are. And forgiveness was a part of it, and because we are all one, believe it or not. And if you treat that person, I do, like, take it for instance, me, like my exes. I may not talk to them, but I care about them. People who have done me wrong, I care about them. I do. So they reach out to me, I forgive them. Oh, thank you very much, Natal. I appreciate you for that. I appreciate you. Thank you. Golden Jen, Delisha Sherry, thank you very much for that too as well. Appreciate you. Natasha Lawrence, I appreciate you as that. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you, Denise. Yeah, because like people get mad with me. The people who care about me, they don't did you so wrong, and you right there now having them in your inner circle and having them so and so, and I'm like, but I don't say this because a lot of people don't get the concept. But they're me. That just is what it is. And until we understand that the people who do us the wrongness are because we have that shoved down in the back of our subconscious mind, and it's our shadow. Our shadows are the people who are definitely in front of us who are affecting us. If you are very codependent, if you are toxic, and you shove that deep down on the inside, like as if it doesn't matter, like you pretend as if you don't have that, the people who are in your life are going to reflect that. That's right. All right. Hey, Astro, do you have on that pretty ring today? What color is it today? It's actually purple, a, a purple haze color. That's what it is. Mm. So this is I would say the love factor. So I'm in the energy of love. What are ways that I can work on healing the heart chakra until I can get an appointment with you? Well, there are ways of just releasing, doing it from a point of being observant of your feelings, of how you feel towards people, writing down things that have hurt you and releasing them, writing them down with passion, how you feel about them, and burning them. And as those flames and that smoke go away, just feel as if those emotions are also transfigured. All right, guys, I definitely have to go. It's about 8 minutes to 10. I have my 10 o'clock session. All right, one last question. Hey, do you have on that? Okay, you asked that. How do I join the tribe? Bella Dior. Have uh, Eternal Sunshine to share with us. She'll let you know. Hurt people, hurt people. I try to understand everyone's hurt. What you said, Lily Murphy, the video that I posted, the spiritual council, was very interesting. So the more difficult the soul's journey, the more spiritual beings are there for that soul. Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Um, maybe they'll go live. Like I tell you, I have two celebrities, one local celebrity. I consider my celebrity. All right. The what you call Oracle Goddess Bougie. She will be doing a session in a few minutes. And it's gonna be beautiful. Yeah. Also, thank you, Lady Creole. Hit the like button and tune in for when she comes on. If she decides on going live, we'll see. But she has to definitely, before anybody lays in my chair, no matter how much of a celebrity they are, there are four things. You have to pass the four tests. One, control issues. Two, trust issues. Three, overthinking. And four, ability to follow instructions subconsciously. Those four things are important in order to experience a session. One of those that has to be released is control. Because you could pass two out of four. So let me explain this to y'all, like I said this to everybody. The four out of four, you would see the people who pass four out of four. They're very animated. They'd be laying down, and you think that they're not in a trance because they're laughing. Oh, look, oh my gosh, they're about to rape me. Oh my gosh. You feel as if they're faking. It's because they are so in that moment. Those are the four out of four who passed four out of four my test. Then you have the three out of four who very smooth, who like, yes, they cry, they feel emotions, and then you'd be like, what's going on with them? And they, yes, oh my gosh, it's coming, so and so. They're not very animated, but they still feel. And then you have the two out of fours who take a longer time to say what. I know some of y'all be in the back of that, back of this the screen saying, come on, girl, sense, feel, believe, know. And you're trying to push them, but they're having a fight with their left and right brain at the very moment in time because they only pass two out of two. And one of those could be overthinking, the other could be control. And they're trying to fight that in order to really push and get information. See, but that's the reason why those four areas are important. So I test for those four things. As celebrity as they may be, if they don't pass at least two of those four, they do not get to sit inside my chair. Give you your money and take out my $90 because my time to me is very important. And I say, I will leave for you to do some more work with your mind. You've allowed for your mind to take control over you instead of you taking control of your mind. Secondly, what I mean by control is not control as in control. I meaning allowing it to do what it just does, which is everywhere. Right. Because to be honest with you, the more vulnerable you are, the more you are connected to source. This is why children have the capability of gaining psychic information and talking with their spirit guides and people who passed on. It's because they don't need the sense of control and they trust. And they have the ability to follow instructions. And they're not overthinking because they don't need to overthink at that point in time. All right, so you have to be a child in order to sit in the eyesight of God, yourself, your soul, your inner being. All right? Remember now, trust issues, control issues, overthinking, and inability to follow instructions. And this is my team member. Hey, hey, hello? I can't hear you. I guess my client is downstairs, guys. All right, guys. We'll be seeing y'all later. All right. Y'all be say, you say, does it look like a dream? It doesn't look like a dream if you don't sense, feel, believe, and know. It doesn't. Intuition is not a dream. Intuition is sensing and feeling. And once you trust what you sense and feel, believe, what you believe and know, what you sense and feel is real, then it creates the picture. That solely depends on your belief. All right. Y'all be safe. All right. I'm gonna. If she decides I'm going live, I'll do it. All right. Y'all be safe. All right.